I have the right to food. It's monitored by the FAO, the Food and Agricultural Organization, that's under the UN. They report that 805 million people each day go hungry. The right to food is simply that, just the right everyone should have food. They should follow the guidelines that it's available for everybody. It's kind of all around. It's adequate, so it fills you, your family, and meets any needs that you have. It's accessible, so it's cheap. No one has to like be excluded because they can't afford it, and stable, which means it's also accessible and available. The problem is that we want to just get rid of this whole issue. We think that we can end hunger right now, and we can't. It can't happen overnight, and we need to just work on it. My favorite quote of the one of my articles was, "The problem of hunger is not necessarily one of food availability. It is often one of food accessibility." That means that food we have enough food to feed every person in this world. It's just that the displacement of the food is causing hunger. So we have more food here in America versus in like Africa, so that's why there's more people starving there than here. Not saying that people aren't starving here, just a bigger number. Water kind of follows the same guidelines as food. It needs to be sufficient, it needs to be safe, and it's an organization called the WHO. They set guidelines for what can be in the water, what can't be. It needs to match those guidelines. It needs to be acceptable, physically accessible, and affordable. Pretty much the same thing as food. Um, Pope Francis kind of had a little meeting with 500 experts that were what was that, drafting the Milan Carter Charter. The point was to resolve food scarcity and decrease waste of food. That's kind of like a sign how one person can truly make an impact on many people. Wasting food, as Pope Francis had, was a very big issue. In America alone, we wasted $162 billion of the food that we purchase, which is 60 metric tons, which then transferred to $1.5 billion from the government just to help clean that up. Wasting food has a huge environmental impact. It ends up to be 7% of the total greenhouse gas emissions, which is 3.3 metric tons of the greenhouse gases, which of a gas, that's a lot. In the future, they plan like 2030, it was $600 billion worth of waste. So that number easily quadrupled in just 15 years. That's getting bad. To reduce this, people have been setting up organizations to like not throw away so much food. In the University of Maryland, they had 5 volunteers who volunteered every week to in the cafes, and they hauled in about 150 to 200 pounds of food a night, which after what was it 2 years they hauled in 30,000 tons of food. Or yeah, 30. They hauled in 30,000 meals, which was 120,000 pounds. It said 75% of colleges do not like have a food recovery program, and just imagine what would happen if we had each college have a program to save their food. I work at Panera. We donate all our bread at the end of the night to the homeless, and that's, I want to say, 150 pounds of food alone. And each of our Paneras do that. So add that up, that's a huge impact of food that normally is just wasted. I believe that the right to food should be enforced, and it's going to take governmental action. It's going to take everybody to pitch in. It's going to suck for some of us, but I believe that's going to be the right thing to do, and it's going to help everybody in the long run. Thank you.